God Almighty, save us from all the kitty cats wearing a cute little devil costume this Halloween. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
There's some people out there dressing up a snake or an iguana or a ferret or a hamster.
You got a pet turtle, you got to make him Bowser for Halloween.
Or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
That might be better. I've definitely seen adult people dressed as a cat.
Especially if you're trying to get a sexy Halloween costume, which is like...
Oh, baby.
Oh, wow. How many sacrifices did you have to complete?
Somewhere between 10 and 10 million.
You lost count after 10.
You have your thing about sleeping with a bat costume on. I can't go to sleep unless I've watched that ghost sex scene.
Which is a pejorative slang that Nick uses for his wife. Oh, sorry. No, it's a pejorative slang for a person, often meaning someone who's belligerent. Oh, wait. No, that's bitch. Sorry. Whoops.
Oh my God. I'm joined now by the man I once saw get punched by a stranger inside of a Taco Bell. Dr. Buster, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. And by that I mean, God damn it, why do I keep coming on this godforsaken show?
Buster, when's the last time you got punched by a stranger inside of a Taco Bell? It's probably happened 10 or 11 times since the time I saw.
You know,
right?
I think it's only the once. At least the only one I've committed to memory. All the other times probably just either too traumatic or I was too intoxicated that I entirely forgot the incident.
What about a Wendy's? How many punches by strangers inside of a Wendy's?
See, I'm used to giving strangers the Wendy's in the Wendy. So, yeah, no punches are occurring. I mean, unless something's punching the back of my throat, but...
Wow. Okay, I don't know where to go with that. But I did see Buster get punched in Taco Bell in high school, and his response was to pick up the large Mountain Dew he had in front of him and chunk it across the restaurant. But you know what? Maybe we'll tell that story another time, because I think it's better to leave the listeners wondering what the hell happened.
What's even better about, if you're imagining that I hurled a fountain drink, lid intact and straw all across the restaurant, you'd be mistaken. In my frustration and anger, as I went to throw the cup full of soda, the lid just popped off as it was leaving my hand. So it just showered Mountain Dew across several booths. And there was a couple that was probably 4 booths away that I think got hit with some Mountain Dew spray, some legit Mountain Dew.
Some Baja Blast, perhaps.
And then
they had a Baja Blast that day inside of a Taco Bell.
The poor Taco Bell staff who had to clean that up afterwards.
Yeah, because we certainly didn't fucking clean it up.
No, I wasn't on my hands and knees mopping up.
You've been on your hands and knees plenty over the years, but not at that moment. And that's fine.
Yes,
everyone can
not
do
in
what
Taco
they want.
Bell.
Now, before we get going in the discourse of today's episode, let me tell you about the Discord. Oh, there's a fucking kitty.
Yep, my black kitty, just in time for Halloween. Spooktober is joining us here. Hopefully he doesn't make too much racket.
We recently launched a new private Discord channel where you can chat with me, Buster, other Sidekick hosts, and listeners as well. You can chat about the show, but we have channels set up to talk about the books you're currently reading, shows you're currently binging, current events, and more. I'd love for you to join us. To get access to this new invite-only Discord channel, sign up for TennisPod Plus, and you'll get an invite link. TennisPod Plus, if you're wondering, is just simply what we call our Patreon and Apple subscription memberships. Go to tennispod.com/plus or sign up in one tap right inside the Apple Podcast app. Now that's enough about Discord. Buster, let's get back to the discourse. What list did you bring for me today?
Okay, we got Halloween coming up. It's Spooktober.
Well, hang on. Let's check the calendar. I don't know. When is Halloween again? December 31st?
April 1st.
Oh, April 3rd. Okay.
It's coming up.
Well, we might be a little early, but we can go ahead and talk about it now. That's fine.
Sure. I'm not very good at my timing. Just ask my wife. Anyway, Nick.
Not responding to that joke.
You have children, allegedly. How do you all usually celebrate Halloween?
Well, let me rephrase that. There are children living in my home. Are they mine or not? I have not done a DNA test, but by all intents, they're mine. Now, what did you ask me?
How do you all celebrate Halloween each year as a family? What do you do?
Me and the children that live in my home, we leave our home, we go to other people's homes, and we vandalize them and smash all their pumpkins and windows and piss on their mailbox. What isn't that what you do?
Rub shaving cream on your dick and just swipe it back and forth on their windows.
Yeah. Well, the windows are broken, Buster. Were you not paying attention?
You do that before you break them.
Okay, that's true. And I think what you were trying to get me to say is that we go trick-or-treating, bub, of course.
Do you go in your neighborhood?
Typically, yes.
Okay. Now,
where do you go? The fucking moon?
You have 4 animals living in your home, right?
7 if you include the wife and kids. But yeah.
Got 'em. How many of those 4 animals do you plan on dressing up for this
Oh
Halloween?
man, all 4, bub. All
All
4.
4. Really? Or
Yeah. So we have 2 dogs. One's going to be Bowser. One's going to be Princess Peach. And then the 2 cats, I think one's going to be a bat. And what's the other one? Some other animal thing.
now, how long do they wear the costume? Is this just for a quick Instagram post and then they take them off, or will they wear them for a few hours
No,
and
you got it,
tolerate it?
man. Instagram post. Well, I think we are going to try to walk the dogs, but with the costumes on while we trick or treat, but I don't have high hopes it's going to go well. So the cats for sure, and maybe the dogs will get a quick Instagram post and be done.
Okay, well, you are a family that fits right into today's list. And I wasn't sure if you all would actually be the type of folks who dress up your kitties and doggies on Halloween.
To be clear, I am not the type of folk to do that. I am married to a type of folk that does that.
Sure. Was the Bowser and the Princess Peach, was that your call or hers?
My kids are also doing Mario theme, and so I said, well, the little dog who's like 10 pounds should be Bowser. Or a
That's
Goomba,
cute.
but we went with Bowser. Yeah. Okay, so what are we getting at here?
You are getting at the top 10 most popular pet Halloween costumes of 2023. Now, earlier on in Tinish's history, 3 years in a row, you and your original sidekick host, Brandon, covered Google's top 10 adult costume search trends as far as Google's search engine goes each year. I think you did it in like 2020, 21, 22, and you've taken a break.
Something like that. Yep.
This time we're doing pets. These are ranked by the top 10 most purchased pet Halloween costumes, ranked by the National Retail Federation's website.
Oh, so we got legit data on purchase data.
We got legit purchase data.
So for the first, hang on, I want everyone to pause. For the first time in world history, Buster did research for
Hey,
a
that's
top
not
10
true.
list.
I remember my dinosaur episode being filled with legit deep dive research.
I remember it being filled with you not shutting the fuck up, but hey.
But I'll grant you, not every episode of mine is very well researched.
That's okay, but I like it. Pet Halloween costumes of 2023. Okay. Based on actual purchase data in the
my
United
cat
States.
is actively sabotaging this episode. He's trying to steal my pen that I'm trying to write with. I've got the top 10 list here on a piece of paper, and he's pawing it and trying to move it, and he's purring right next to me, which is cute. But god damn, is it distracting?
No.
I can barely keep my train of thought right now.
I would take a bullet for Cosmo, and for you,
You would shoot me.
yeah. I would be the applicator of the bullet.
You'd be firing the bullet. So information today comes from Forbes.com, the NRF, National Retail Federation, Friends at Wikipedia, Riptic, Quizbreaker, and Google's costume ranking and data website Frightgeist, which if you've not ever poked around in there, listener, please do. It's interesting. It's fun. So I do have some human adult data here for each of these top 10, even though they are ranked according to pet purchase amounts in the United States.
Those are my favorite humans, the adult ones.
So many jokes
Keep
to
going.
be made there. And a little bit of costume and Halloween trivia along the way.
Okay.
So I was going to do a kids list and an adults list like you all used to do, but I kind of thought, I think a little pet costume episode would be a little fresher.
Buster, we've talked about my pets. How about your pets? You have 2 kitties.
We have 2 kitties. We've got a black kitty named Cosmo, perfect for the Halloween season. And heck, Coco is too. She is orange, white, and black, but they don't get anything more fancy than a couple of Halloween-themed kitty collars for the season. But they don't. They are the type of cats, like, I don't know if you've seen TikToks or Reels where cats will accidentally get stuck in a plastic bag and then they sprint all over the house like a drag race car. That's what our cats would do if we tried to put a costume on them. It would last about 2 seconds and it would probably be traumatic for them. So we don't.
They're cute as hell. They're cute as hell. The listeners, maybe, Buster, when you get them in their Halloween-themed collars this year, will you send me a photo so I can share it with our listeners?
That's right. We'll post it along with the promo for this week's episode.
Yep. And if you're not already, that's a good reminder to follow us on social media at TenishPod so you can see those.
If you're not familiar with the Tenish Pod previous episodes on popular costumes, I suggest going to check out those 3 episodes. They were fun. And one thing I was going to note here is on those 3 different lists, there were things in popular pop culture, popular media at the time that influenced the top 10. I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that for the pet top 10, that influence is not found here.
Really? Okay. It's
These
a little
are
more
generic.
timeless.
There's nothing related to a TV show or movie on this top 10.
What about a butt? Anything related to a butt?
Oh, we're going to be talking about butts left and right. You got little pet booties sticking out of the back of these costumes.
Do they differentiate the type of pet, or is it just pets in general? I mean, it's
Just
probably all
pets in
dogs and
general.
cats, but
It's mainly dogs. Well, there's some people out there dressing up a snake or an iguana or a ferret or a
I think
hamster.
a turtle. I said my dog was going to be Bowser. You got a pet turtle, you got to make him Bowser for Halloween.
That's right. Or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
That might be better.
You got 4 years in a row planned out with each turtle.
Okay. Well, should I tell you? Do you have anything else?
I don't know. You want to? I don't know. Like guess a list. That's the whole point of this fucking show.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you first what I think is probably not on the list. I'm going to guess there's no Taylor Swift costumes for kitties or doggies on the top 10.
Nope, no Taylor Swift.
Probably no Donald Trump or Joe Biden costumes.
No Donald Trump. But I will say each year as we host trick-or-treaters at our house, I am disappointed that not just one, but multiple Donald Trump costumes come up to me. And I just think, kid, you never stood a chance if in your family this was deemed a good Halloween costume.
Well, when we look 20 or 30 years in the future, that kid will have been convicted 34 times for some felony.
That or he'll just be pardoned because he's on the right side of history and he'll be forgiven for whatever transgression he commits.
And run for president.
Still trying to steal my pen.
I'll give you a guess. Remember I was saying earlier that one cat is a bat and the other is some animal I can't remember? I just remembered it, and that will be my guess now. A butterfly. Is there any butterfly costumes in the top 10?
No butterfly. No butterfly.
I'm having a hard time focusing with Cosmo here.
You tell me. You're telling me. I can hear him. I can feel him right there. His presence is just...
He's so fucking cute.
All day I'll be in and out of this house doing all sorts of things. Will he be right there beckoning for attention? No. But the one time I'm on a microphone recording for a show, he's got to be right here. Now he's sitting on the entire list.
He did that last time we recorded. He sat on a piece of paper as if it's a cushion. Don't shake your head.
This cat is insatiable.
All right. For another guess, let's go with a bat, the other cat costume I had.
A bat. Number 3.
Damn.
I shall let you guess
Number
that.
3. Is it number 3?
I'm going to let you... No, it's number 4, actually. No, it's 3. I'll let you guess that next time. I done fucked up. Thanks, Cosmo, for getting me off my game.
Wow. Everyone take a drink every time Buster fucks up. You'll be fucked up by the end of this episode.
All right. If you didn't know, according to Wikipedia, bats are flying mammals of the order Chiroptera.
Hang on, whoa. Slow down. I gotta take notes on this so I can remember what bats are later.
With their four limbs adapted as wings, they're the only mammals capable of true sustained flight. I'm also listening to a very lengthy book by Richard Dawkins about evolution. The theory of evolution.
Yeah, thank you. The sin
Forgive me,
of
Jesus.
evolution.
Forgive me, Jesus. And there's a whole section in a chapter devoted to how they had to figure out the echolocation system of bats and how intricate it is. It truly is nothing short of mind-blowing. I still can't believe how the whole process works and how they use it to either navigate through a tight space versus being comfortable with places, or how they will actually locate a flying object. You might have some concept of how that works, but I promise you, after learning more about it, it's a system they use that I underestimated in every way. It's just
so the idea is that they make some audible noise, and based on the echo feedback of that noise, they can gauge how far something is, how close something is, how big or small something is, basically. I mean, is that a...
Yeah, but so one small example is when they're trying to locate something, it's a slower pulse. And by slow, I mean 80 beats per second. And 80 times per second, as they're putting out those calls and flying, their ears are turning off and on so they don't hurt their own hearing. 80 times per second. And then when they're closing in on an insect to eat it, that rate goes up to 220 times per second. And their ears are turning on and off 220 times per second in between each cry.
Sorry, I missed all that. I had turned my ear off to not damage them from your talking. Can you say all of that again?
No. Now, for human adults, bat ranks number 62 for humans. So it's up there.
What adult human is a bat? Have you ever seen that? I don't think I've ever seen an adult bat costume.
They probably need a little bit of help
Well, I mean, vampires,
in
sure.
life.
But
yeah, but
the bat works so well for pets because it's easy. You just put on a little thing and it's 2 wings. That's it. Not complicated. Cute as hell. Bats are cute as hell. I want to cuddle a bat. But okay, bats, they're great.
So according to the Frightgeist from Google, the state that loves dressing up as a bat the most is Ohio, and it's been in a slump as a costume. It's been decreasing since 2020.
Well, I don't doubt it. I'm surprised it had more than one person in a bat costume.
Now, why do you suspect bats have seen they've taken a hard knock in the costume popularity since 2020? The timing's probably not coincidence.
When did the latest Batman movie come out?
Well, I think it has more to do with people thinking that it came from a wet market in Wuhan. Bats, and they're like, "Damn, probably a bad time to be dressing up as a bat here in 2020."
Probably a bat time to be dressing up as a bat. Am I right?
Okay, that's not even.
That's good.
Close. Nope. In which U.S. state is it illegal to dress up like a priest or a nun for Halloween? You can get arrested.
I'm guessing that's one of those weird, like, old laws that's not actually enforced. Kind of like in Oklahoma, it's illegal to hunt for whales, even though there's no whales here.
Well, knowing this state, I wouldn't be surprised if they look at this law in 2024 and they're like, hell yes, that is something we can still get behind.
All right, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana.
You're in the right neighborhood. It's Alabama. So no dressing up as a priest or nun.
Shout out to all of our listeners in Alabama. No priest or nun. Interesting. Okay. You think they'd like that? Because, well, I guess they probably think they're mocking the priest or the nun, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone who's ever dressed up as a priest for Halloween is doing it because they're religious and taking it seriously. They're probably walking around the party and making all sorts of boy rape jokes as the priest in costume. Just a hunch.
How come it's not illegal to dress as a monk or a rabbi?
Or a skunk.
Okay. Went a different direction, but all right. Okay, skunk. That's a good one. Is there skunk on the list?
Skunk, not on the list. That would be a good one.
I've definitely seen cats dressed as skunks, including in the Pepe Le Pew costume.
Are you sure those aren't just skunks outside your house that your dumbass is mistaken for kitties?
I guess I can't be sure, Buster. No. That would explain a lot, though, actually, now that you say that.
A lot of things are coming together.
Okay, well, this is a weird one, and I'll bet it's not here, but I'll say it. Is there a dog or cat costume? Like dressing up?
There is. Yeah, earlier you were going to say something like, oh, I bet they don't dress them up as a dog. And I was going to say, yeah, they don't. But then I remember the cat is on the list. Now I would guess you're not dressing up a cat like a cat. I mean, some people do. That's probably kind of funny. But I would guess you're dressing
I learned today that
up.
Adults are dressing up as bats, so I think anything's possible. So cat is on here.
Cat is on the list. Where do you think it ranks?
No, why don't you tell me where it ranks like you did last time, and then I'll say that number back, and I'll edit the episode to make it not seem that way.
You don't edit my episodes because everything that I say rolls off the tongue. It's straight liquid gold.
Our Tennis Pod Plus members know that's not true based on the monthly blooper reel they get. Pretty much 90% Buster on those blooper reels. I'm going to guess that cat has to be low. I'm going to say 9 or 10.
God, do you know anything?
No.
7.
Knew it. Buster, I'll bet cat is number 7.
Interestingly, cat or dog is not on Google's Frightgeist database of adult costumes. Now, how is bat on there, but not cat or dog?
I've definitely seen adult people dressed as a cat, but I have not seen an adult people dressed as a bat.
For sure, and especially if you're trying to get a sexy Halloween costume, which is like half of the one.
Baby.
Oh, brow. It's like half of the adult costumes sold are sexy versions. A cat definitely is a common adult Halloween costume. So Google, you dropped the ball on this one.
Something about cats that are just so seductive and sensual, you know? They're very, they're risque animals.
Sure. I like it.
Buster says that as he peeks over his microphone. He says, sure.
What percentage of people do you think report handing out candy on Halloween?
Oh, interesting. That's tough because if you're out trick-or-treating, you might not be handing out candy. I'm going to say 50%.
50? And if you aren't out trick-or-treating and you're not handing out candy, so you're a certified fun sucker, then just unsubscribe from this goddamn podcast. Because what are you doing ruining one of the best holidays? Hand out
You're not
candy. Now,
ruining it by not participating. Ruining it would be what I said me and my kids were doing earlier about vandalizing homes and shit on Halloween,
no,
which
that's
is not
good.
true,
Do
by the
more
way.
of that. That's great.
But just choosing not to participate in Halloween is not ruining it.
I get it if you live in an apartment building, you probably don't have trick-or-treating. But if you have any sort of avenue, pathway, or excuse to hand out candy on Halloween, you should. It's fun.
Wow, Buster guilt tripping everyone here. Okay.
I'm an advocate for Halloween.
I think everyone should be free to do and not do whatever they do or don't please. That's my advice.
Well, 68%
So,
of
Buster,
people.
are you like the Oklahoma Department of Education that is mandating Bibles be taught in school because you think it ruins Christianity if they don't? That's what you're saying with Halloween. If you don't participate in Halloween, you're now ruining the holiday for others.
No. I guess I shouldn't take such a strong stance. The thing that makes me
maybe.
say that is that our neighborhood is notorious for being big on Halloween. And then there are people who move into our neighborhood and then they don't do anything. They don't decorate, their lights off, they don't hand out candy. And it's just like a dark blip in our otherwise very fun Halloween neighborhood.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
you
looking
know
over
everything
there.
going on in their lives. You know that they're not traveling during Halloween time, and you know that that their fucking son wasn't murdered on Halloween the year before, so they don't want to think about Halloween this year. Or you just know everything that you just know their entire life complexities and backstory. Got it, understood.
Or maybe they were trying to dress up as a bat, and then when they went to Spirit Halloween store, the bat was sold out. They didn't know how to buy one online, so it's just a traumatic reminding each year that they couldn't dress up as a bat that year.
Or maybe they're in their house with the lights off, participating with the licking machine that we covered on a past episode.
Now that, folks, you can do 365 days a year. You don't need Halloween for that. In fact, that's more appropriate for Valentine's Day.
I think they'll probably dresses up their pet as a lion for Halloween.
Well, you'd be correct because it's enough people to crack the top 10. Where do you think it lands?
Number 5.
I'm embarrassed for you. Jeez.
Okay, 6. 8. I knew it.
Lion. For humans, it's coming in at number 85. So
that's behind Bat.
It's behind Bat. It's most popular with people in Michigan. And lion has been steadily increasing since 2004 when Google started collecting costume search data.
And by God, aren't we glad they started doing that?
Now, Lionel Messi is an Argentine professional footballer who plays as a forward for and captains 2 different Major League Soccer teams.
Sure, if you say so.
Lion, not Lionel Messi. Okay, sorry. Whoops.
Which is ironic because I'll bet Lionel Messi is one of the top 10 kid Halloween costumes.
I bet it is. It's probably up there. How many Halloween costumes are bought each year for pets in America? Now, considering your household is putting 4 on the map this year.
So there's got to be at least 4. Well, I believe there's around 200 million dogs and cats in the United States, something like that. And so
really?
If we were to say 200 million pets, and then what percentage of them, I would say maybe 25% have. So that would be something like 50-ish million. I'll say 50 million.
Not a bad guess. It's 11 million. It's lower than that.
Okay, so it was not a good guess.
So there's people reusing their costumes each year, I would guess. And a lot of folks not dressing their woofy wolves and their kitty kitties.
What percentage of those 11 million costumes do you think are used on humans?
It's
For whatever
not 0.
reason. Could be a multitude of reasons. We don't have to get into the reasons, but what do you think people are out buying pet costumes and they end up wearing it themselves? At least a few hundred,
2%.
Right?
2%. 1 in 50. They're looking up to spice up the bedroom a little bit, and they're like, they have a Great Dane who wore a devil costume, and the wife's like, hey, Rufus, our dog, wore that costume a month ago. How about you slap that devil costume on and come over here and punish me?
I was waiting to see what adjective or what verb you were going to use there. Punish is not the worst you could have done. Definitely not the best.
How about you give me a little trick or treat in that devil costume made for a dog?
And then the husband's like, well, it's going to be a trick because I just jerked off 5 minutes ago and I got nothing left.
I jerked off about wearing a dog's
devil costume. Well, how about the devil? The devil costume. Devil's got to be on here.
Yeah, I regretted saying that because I gave you away another top 10.
I'll bet Devil's High. I'll bet it's like number 2.
I'll give you a second guess. And the only hint I should have to give you is that it is the perfect
6.
number.
6, 6, 6.
Pray.
It is number 6.
I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus. Hold on. Let's say a couple Hail Marys. Nick, can you lead us in a 10-ish pod
We're going to do a
prayer?
group prayer. God Almighty, forgive this man. He know not what he does. He knows not what he says. Save us from damnation, from all the kitty cats wearing a cute little devil costume this Halloween. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Now, interestingly, on Google, if you type in Satan as a costume, nothing comes up. It's just devil.
It's a little too it's a little too real when you call it a Satan costume. Using him by his first name now.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe they just lumped him into one, but it seems silly that Satan's just not there.
Where's the Lucifer costume?
I think it fit too loose, so they had to return it.
Was that a joke on the name Lucifer?
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, deviled eggs, also known as stuffed eggs, curried eggs, or dressed eggs, are hard-boiled eggs that have been peeled, cut in half, and filled with the yolk, mixed with other ingredients such as mayonnaise and mustard.
I feel like
there you go. Devil.
I feel like
deviled. Oh shit, deviled eggs.
Am I delirious? Did we switch topics somewhere along the way, or you're just being weird?
Devil's most popular as a costume in Michigan. It's peaked.
You know why? Because they're fucking heathens up there.
It peaked in 2019, and it's been trending down ever since. I don't know what happened in Michigan in 2019, but there was a lot of sinning going on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what happened. What Biden was elected president, and all the values of this country go down the drain when Joe Biden started, eating the what do they call that? The adrenochrome.
Slurping an adrenochrome smoothie
of all the children in Michigan. That's probably what it was.
And ever since, they've been trying to get right back they've been trying to get back right with God so people aren't dressing up as the devil.
What about an angel?
Well, in this country of sinners, Nick.
Yeah.
Angel didn't crack the top 10.
Yeah. Maybe in 2025.
So why did trick-or-treating gain popularity in the United States?
I've looked at this before when I did an episode with Stephen Clark on the oldest holidays in America, but I'm having trouble remembering, so why don't you just fucking tell me?
Well, pranking became a preferred practice on Halloween among young people in the 1920s during the Great Depression, and that was starting to devolve into vandalism and violence each year. They were, some kids were getting close to the purge every year in America.
Let's pause here. So it's the Great Depression. You fucking don't have a job. You don't have money. You don't have food. You can't feed your family. And now these fucking kids are playing tricks on your fucking old ass. So it's a shit time to be an American.
You can barely rub 2 pennies together and some kid comes by, breaks your front windows out and shits on your front porch.
Well, the shit on the front porch you probably don't even notice because you just got finished shitting in the street. But everything else sucks, yeah.
Yeah, so to prevent this pranking in communities, the organized activity of trick-or-treating in America was encouraged. However, it has origins further back than that in medieval England and medieval Scotland and Ireland. Children and adults would go door to door in some costumes. They would perform songs or jokes in exchange for food and money. This practice was known as guising.
It's kind of weird that it even gained prominence to begin with, given that Halloween and trick-or-treating and dressing up as devils and shit is a very provocative thing for medieval, highly religious, Scotland and shit, Ireland.
Well, I think, yeah, we'll get to a little bit of trivia about that, but eventually it was kind of sort of co-opted as part of let's get our sins and our inner desires out before All Saints Day on November 1st. Just like Mardi Gras is supposed to be a big heathen bash right before you're supposed to be a good boy for Lent.
And I love being a bad boy for Lent.
Which is silly because if you're going to be religious throughout the whole year, you shouldn't need a pressure valve release before a time of making things right.
It's literally the same concept as the purge. Get all your crimes out on one day of the year, and then you're good the rest of the year.
But if you're truly following Jesus' preachings, you wouldn't need that pressure valve.
You don't have to tell me, bud. Before and after we record today, I will be
dressing up as a bat. I refuse to lay down in the same bed as my wife until I'm dressed as a bat each night. It's just a little thing I do.
Every night.
It's a little thing I do. Yeah.
Okay. And how's she feel about that?
Well, it doesn't matter because for me, in order for me to get a good night's 8 hours rest, I got to be dressed as a bat. So
Okay.
early on in our relationship, before we even got
You
engaged,
established
it was
that.
I warned her, here's my stance on kids, here's my stance on religion, and there's this little thing that I do before I go to sleep.
I have to dress as a bat. Now, when you're traveling for work or something, do you pack the bat costume?
First thing I pack. And I pack 2 or 3 in case they get dirty.
Now, are these pet bat costumes that you're repurposing for yourself, or are they adult bat costumes?
Only on major holidays is it a pet bat costume. The rest of the year, it's an adult bat costume.
Now, what happens if let's say you're packing and you're stressed and you're distracted, and so you forget to pack your bat
Don't happen.
costume?
That's
Okay.
don't
Never
happen.
happened once.
It's like my night guard. It's the one thing I will check 3 times to make sure it's packed, and it's in my packed bag and in my carry-on, so that if that checked luggage gets lost, I still got my bat costume that night.
Now, theoretically, just for the sake of discussion, let's say you did forget it one night, or it broke and you couldn't wear it. What would happen?
It's gonna be a long night because I won't be sleeping well.
Okay. Any other bat-related things you'd like to incorporate into your day-to-day? Or is it just the bat costume at night? Okay. And last question on this, and then
I
we
had
can
nearly
mercifully move on.
I had 25 years of insomnia that was finally cured when I realized that the discomfort I've been experiencing my whole life is because I couldn't lay down pretending that I was a bat for the night.
Well, that's where I was going to go. So the bat costume, it is involved in the idea that I want to be a bat. I'm going to pretend to be a bat. There's no
It's a
other
bit of
bat
placebo.
activities.
It's a bit of placebo because in my right mind, I know I'm not really a bat, but it's enough to get me there. It's kind of like people who have to role play to get turned on, that they're like, their husband broke in the house and now is about to have his way with her. It's like they know that's not really happening, but it's enough of an immersion that they,
And so you're immersed in this bat state of mind, even though in your real mind, it's not real. But there's nothing sexual about it. There's no sexual... No. Okay.
No, my wife has propositioned me several times to have sexual encounters with her with the bat costume on. I said, absolutely
not. That I
not.
don't believe.
This is for sleeping, honey.
And never shall the two meet. Like you don't want to collide worlds with your sexual proclivities and your sleeping habits.
Well, they say don't work in your bed because it might, create some insomnia tendencies when it's time to go to sleep. Or, like so many serial killers get their sexual wires crossed with punishment and such and pain. So I keep things separate. That bat costume is for sleeping only. There is nothing bat related left on the list. So move us into another guest.
I'd be fucking surprised if there was. What would that be? Like a specific bat, like a fruit bat costume? Oh, what about like Batman? Are there any like superhero costumes?
No superhero, no Batman.
With over 250 episodes of Tennis Podcast and counting, it can be tough to know where to start or which episode to pick next. The Tennis Podcast episode guide has you covered. Go to tennispod.com/episodes and you'll be able to see all of our episodes filtered by topic and by sidekick host. For example, are you looking for lists about animals? Select the animals topic and you'll see every episode we have ever done relating to animals, such as the smartest animals, the deadliest animals, etc. There are dozens of topics to choose from, such as food, music, true crime, sports, and more. It's the quickest way to find Tennis Podcast episodes in the topics you're most interested in. Or maybe you're less picky about the list topic and the sidekick host is more important to you. Say you are a psychopath and you actually want more Dr. Buster episodes. First of all, wow. Secondly, you can use the episode guide to quickly see all of the episodes Dr. Buster has ever been on. The same is true for all of our regulars, like Alex Johns, Brad Choma, and the rest. One last thing. When you find the episode, you can click into the episode to see links to all of the most popular podcast players like Spotify and Apple, as well as a short visual trailer for that episode and a full interactive transcript. The Tennis Podcast episode guide is truly your best bet in finding the next episode for you. Try it now at tennispod.com/episodes or just click the link in the show notes. Is there anything in the top 10 that is not just a generic thing, like an animal?
No, they're all generic.
Okay. How about a bunny?
Bunny, good guess, not on the list.
How about a moose? Because all you got to do for a moose is just put a little thing on their head.
A moose, right? Or a deer or a reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no?
nothing like that on the list.
How about Santa?
Santa. That's kind of funny. Santa is a Halloween costume you don't see very often. but it's an easy one.
I guess it seems too sacrilege to dress as Santa on a different holiday, right? Like we're gonna get our Santa fix in 2 months. Let's just put him on ice for a minute and not be him for Halloween.
Well, also, how annoying would it be at a party? You dress as Santa, and every 5 minutes, someone's coming over trying to sit on your lap and tell you what they want for Christmas because they think, "Holy shit, I'm seeing Santa so early. It's more likely I can get what I actually want in because I'm going to be one of the first requests."
I think the people that would do that to a person dressed as Santa are the same people that dress as a bat as an adult. Something's going on up there.
Yep.
I thought of another guess. How about a ghost?
Ghost. What a scary guess. Where do you think Ghost lands on the top 10?
Boo! Did I scare you? I'm going to guess Ghost is number 4.
Nope.
2.
Nope.
5.
You are scary bad at guessing. It's number 9.
What?
Number
Why is a ghost so
9.
low? That's like the perfect Halloween costume.
It is. I think maybe it's a little generic. Although, for adults, the trending Google searches, it's been going up and up ever since with no dip since 2004. So Ghost is increasing in popularity with humans, at least. It's most popular
Maybe
in
the
Colorado.
pets are maybe they're finally discovering the Patrick Swayze Ghost movie after all these decades, and that's why it's going up.
Damn it, you ruined it for me. I was going to say, according to Wikipedia, Ghost is a 1990 American supernatural romance film directed by Jerry Zucker from starring Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, Tony Goldwyn, and starring a lot of people. It focuses on Sam Wheat, a murdered banker whose ghost sets out to save his girlfriend, Molly, from the person who killed him through the help of the psychic Oda Mae Brown. Now, I've not seen the movie, but according to people who've seen it, there is a very interesting invisible ghost sex scene.
There is.
Nick watches that at least weekly.
No, I do it nightly. You have your thing about sleeping with a bat costume on. I can't go to sleep unless I've watched that ghost sex scene.
Sure.
Tomato, tomato. We each have our own.
Do you pretend that you're Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg?
I don't pretend I'm nothing. I just observe it as an outside viewer. It is an external experience that I am witnessing. That's it.
That doesn't end up being so external.
There's nothing sexual about it. It's a instinctual need to sleep. Same as you with your bat costume. Like, yes, I'm aware it's a sex scene in the movie, but to me, it might as well be a scene of someone writing a book on a typewriter. Bacon bread. It's just a thing happening that my mind says I need to see this before I can sleep.
Now, where'd the ghostly tradition of dressing up in costume for Halloween originate?
Ireland.
Yes. Dressing up came from the Celtic festival
I told you.
Of Samhain, where they would wear animal skins and masks to hide from the ghost of recently deceased ancestors. This was a festival that would mark the end of the harvest season. They'd also bring in all the cattle from the fields and slaughter them. Woo!
Why?
Because it was kind of time to prepare for winter and such.
Oh, okay. So they weren't just slaughtering them to slaughter them. They were using the meat and shit.
Yes. You got it.
Well, the way you said it made it sound like they just slaughtered them as a sacrifice and then left them in the field.
They're like, this festival's not spooky enough. Let's kill all the livestock.
Yeah.
Every October 31st. So the souls of the dead were thought to revisit their home seeking hospitality, and a place at the table was set for them during a big feast in the meal. However, they wanted to hide themselves and disguise themselves from souls who were coming back who maybe weren't very friendly, so that was where they would dress up in costume. In the
Fucking
800s,
idiots.
so in the 19th century, the Western Church endorsed the 1st of November as All Saints' Day, and this is where the church tried to co-opt this Celtic tradition and tried to turn this into a religious, kind of what we said before, get your demons out on October 31st before we thank you, Jesus on All Souls' Day and get right on the path with the Lord.
Buster, we've gone through 5 of the top 10. Can you give us a quick recap?
God damn, are you a psychic? You have clairvoyance? Are you cheating? Are you looking off my notes? How do you know we're halfway through the list?
I'm clairvoyant. You said it.
I thought you were Nick. Number 10, you have yet to guess. 9 is ghost. 8, lion. 7, cat, kitty cat. 6, devil. Not Satan, devil. 5 and 4, you've yet to guess. And 3 is a bat, which I'm very familiar with.
I thought 6 was deviled eggs, or did I get mixed
Oh,
up?
that's right. Yeah, 6 is deviled eggs. 9 is the 1990 romance film Ghost, and 8 is Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I think you're lying about that one. Am I right?
Oh,
All right, I Ghost made me think of some more kind of spooky themed stuff. So how about a skeleton?
Nick, stop! I'm scared. Don't do that. She's not a Christian. You should put that soundbite in
I'm
right
gonna
there,
put that
just for
soundbite
the
right
people
here.
who get it.
So skeleton, show me skeleton.
Show me skeleton. I won't, because it's not on the top 10.
All right, how about a pumpkin? Number 1. I knew it.
Nick
You know
done
why?
rolled himself on into number.
It's the power of the devil, whom I worship, that gave me the clairvoyance to see that. Number 1 is a pumpkin.
How many sacrifices of children in your neighborhood did you have to complete before Satan would let you know that pumpkin was number 1 on the list? Tell the folks.
Somewhere between 10 and 10 million.
You lost count after 10.
Yeah.
So pumpkin, number 1. This is the number 1 most popular costume for people's doggies and kitties. For humans, though, it's only coming in at number 15.
That's for human adults. I'll bet for human kids, like especially babies, I could see pumpkin being in the top 10.
That's true. And especially as your average human child in America gets more and more round, pumpkin's probably getting more popular because they don't have.
All they gotta do is lift up their shirt and paint their tummy orange. Buster cracked himself up, just so everyone knows.
Now, if this if this was a pumpkin spice latte costume and the Google Trends was only for white women in America, shit, I bet it'd be number 1 uncontested since like 2010.
Goddamn, taking shots at women in America for liking their pumpkin spice lattes.
Hey,
Fuck.
I can say that as an in-group joke because I am one of those basic people who's addicted to pumpkin spice this
You're a
time of
basic
year.
bitch, for sure.
I'm a basic biatch. I'm as basic as they come this time of year.
Now, Buster, how many pumpkins have you had sex with this year?
0, but how many pumpkin spice lattes have I dipped my dong in? Well, it's more than 1.
Okay. I regret asking. I regret opening that Pandora's door.
It's Pandora's box, first of all. And second, there's no box or door. It's a cup. Nick, you ever had a latte? Jesus Christ. God.
Literally, no.
You are literally unbearable. Okay.
First, is a bear in the top 10? All right, finish pumpkin.
If listeners don't like dad jokes, they will have turned this episode off by now.
Brother, they turned this show off after episode 1.
According to Wikipedia, pumpkin spice is generally a blend of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and sometimes allspice. Pumpkin spice consumables produce $2 billion in annual sales in America alone. The spice is often referred to in the context of a pumpkin spice flavored drink, often ordered from Starbucks, coming in the form of a pumpkin spice latte, with the company selling more than 50 million pumpkin spice drinks a year.
Buster, I'm going to drop a hot take on you. You ready? I don't think you're ready for it. Well, it's not a hot take. It's a hot opinion. It's a hot personal perspective. I do not enjoy pumpkin-flavored things. I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin spice latte. I don't like pumpkin muffins. It's not for me.
I can't hate on that because people don't get to pick their taste buds. And I am not a fan of anything that's Christmas flavored. Mocha mint, eggnog, all that shit can fuck off. So
yeah,
I get it.
But pumpkin is very popular. It's including in this household, but it's not for me. So fuck it.
No shame, no shade. I don't blame you.
All right. Well, it was a bear in the top 10.
No, but I'm not done with pumpkin.
Oh, well, why don't you pump some more pumpkin?
Do you want to bully me anymore so the listeners can observe how mean and rude you are? Do you want to cut me off? Do you want to
some
ignore
more pumpkin facts at me so I can get back to my kin?
According to Wikipedia, a pumpkin is a cultivated winter squash in the genus Cucurbita.
Oh God, I'm so glad we went back to pumpkins so we could listen to this bullshit. Go ahead.
This I actually kind of thought was interesting. The term is most commonly applied to round, orange-colored squash varieties, though it does not possess any scientific definition and may be used in reference to many different squashes of varied appearances. So, you very much could have something that you and I would say, that's not a pumpkin, but a fucking biologist would say, yeah, it is, because it's a squash. So there you go.
I guess that's semi-interesting. I take it back. I'm glad you shared it. Thank you.
Jack-o'-lanterns used to be carved from what instead of pumpkins?
Oh, I know this.
Oh, we'll prove it, smart guy.
Potato?
If you know it.
Potato.
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yep.
Are you going to apologize?
The tradition of making jack-o'-lanterns at Halloween comes from an Irish legend about a man named Stingy Jack. I think that's Nick's brother.
Listener of the show.
People in Ireland and Scotland began carving scary faces into potatoes to ward off Stingy Jack and other evil spirits. In the United States, people who immigrated continued that tradition using pumpkins, which were native to America, many of which are grown in Mexico.
Really? Mexico is the big pumpkin.
Yeah, I read some stat recently that like 80 or 90% of the pumpkins grown in America come from Indiana and Mexico. Or Illinois and Mexico, one of those Midwest states.
Right, they're all the same to you. Indiana, Illinois, who gives a fuck? That's all just the same thing. Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate that.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but the most popular costume last year for human adults is Barbie, and that was the top costume in almost every single of the 50 United States.
Was last year the year the Barbie movie came out?
It was.
the year
Barbenheimer was last year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you got 4 left, bub. We got...
Oppenheimer.
No.
Is there any Oppenheimer costumes?
No, but there's one human-esque character on here. We've got 2 animals and 1 food.
Hot dog.
Is this a bad time to re-bring up an old classic from the Tinish Pod about hot dogs?
Yes, it's a bad time.
Which Nick put to rest on a Tinish live broadcast, I'd say, a few months ago. So if you're not familiar with exactly...
Yeah, I told the truth on that, which was that the hot dog was eaten over an airport trash can by a madman. And I will not speak ill of the dead, so I'll leave it at that. But is there an airport trash can with a hot dog being eaten over it costume that people are putting their pets in?
No, but that's what you're dressing up as every day, because we all know it was you. Hot dog is on the list. Where do you think it ranks?
It's got to be 4.
Divided by 2.
2. I almost said 2 first. 2.
2 buns, 1 big old hot dog slapped between them. Now, for human adults, this comes in at number 155, so not very popular with humans, but very popular to put that dachshund in a hot dog Halloween costume.
Yeah, we have a part dachshund, and I see in his future a hot dog costume at some point.
For sure. It would be a shame if you didn't.
Do you spell hot dog as one word, or do you separate the hot and the dog?
I don't know. 2 words,
well, why
I guess.
Don't you look at your own fucking notes and see what you wrote?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's because if I had typed it as one word, Google would have corrected me. Or like Microsoft Word would have corrected me. But if I was writing it on a piece of paper, I guess I'd... this is going to follow me. What do you do?
I kind of alternate. Like, I don't think my mind is not settled on one use.
How can you alternate when you know one of them's wrong?
Well, I have you on the show every alternating few weeks, and you're wrong pretty much all the time.
Damn. That's deep. That's deep.
Well, this hot dog question will follow you.
It's most popular in the state of Ohio.
Fucking fat asses in Ohio. Should be fucking ashamed of yourselves.
For human adults, the hot dog costume has shot up in popularity since 2021. That's because there's so many Tinish patrons out there dressing up as a hot dog.
So many Tinish Pod Plus members paying homage to Brandon Kaufman, the man who ate a hot dog over a trash can. They're paying their respects to him.
Nick, tell the folks at home, what's a hot dog?
It is a coagulation of unused body parts from a pig or a cow, or I guess a chicken, that is bunched together into a coagulated package, skinned up into one giant package that you then centrally place between 2 warm, hot, sexy buns, and then you shove it up your ass. You can put ketchup or mustard on it, too.
When's the last time you ate a hot dog?
I don't know. Maybe 4th of July?
Okay.
But even then, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. How about you?
Last time I ate a hot dog...
I don't care. Go back to your notes. Wikipedia said
there
something.
There we go. A hot dog is a dish consisting of a grilled, steamed, or boiled sausage served in the slit of a partially sliced bun. The term hot dog can refer to the sausage itself. The sausage used is a wiener or a frankfurter, also just known as Frank. Now, we all know that's a whitewashed description of a hot dog because what Nick said is the more accurate description.
A coagulated collection of body parts is what I said. Unused
Turned into
body
a
parts.
Phallic-shaped tube that no one should ever eat.
You know, whenever they invented the hot dog, whenever that happened, whenever they looked at all the unused animal guts on the floor of whatever factory, and they're like, hey, let's pile this all together into one packaged shape and sell it, which is a brilliant idea. It's paid off for whoever invented it. But why put it into the shape and color of a human wiener? Why not turn it into like a patty, like a burger or something, you know?
You know, you're right, because then you don't have to make a whole other industry of bun manufacturing. You can just keep using the patty, like the burger buns. I wonder if they did it as a joke originally, like they're never going to go for this, and they put them out as, you know,
They're
dick
never
shaped.
gonna go for this.
And they start flying off the shelf, and they couldn't believe it.
They might as well just put it into where's the vagina-shaped hot dogs?
Yeah, or the butt-shaped hot dogs.
Hmm.
Also, why is it called a hot dog? Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Hamburger probably has.
Well,
you know,
that's because it came from Hamburg, Germany.
right. Now, hot dog didn't come from a hot ass dog, so
Didn't come from a hot dog, Germany either, as far as I know.
it's one of those mysteries.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. We can't look it up on Google or anything like that.
Next week on Unsolved Mysteries, how did hot dog get its name?
You're done. So I'm gonna guess there's two animals and a person-esque costume, right?
Yep.
Let's go with the animals first. How about a cow?
No.
How about a bull?
No.
How about a shark?
No.
How about an alligator?
No.
How about a tiger?
No. Think smaller. Very small.
Squirrel?
Smaller.
Mouse?
Smaller.
Spider?
Let's do a welfare check on Stephen Clark.
Why?
Because
Because he loves spiders.
We know his ass is at any given time trying to find himself in the nearest vicinity to a spider. Stephen Clark is another sidekick host on the Tennis Pod.
Yes, and we've
regular?
made me and Buster made jokes about him for over a decade because he's always protecting this. If he finds a spider in his house, he's rehoming it outside and fucking like trying to get its number while he does it.
If I'm not mistaken, Stephen Clark has never dressed up as a spider for Halloween, and I do think that's a damn shame.
He doesn't need to dress. He doesn't need to be in a spider costume because he has his dick in a spider throughout the year.
Well, it's just such his natural state to be around spiders. It'd be like me dressing up as myself for Halloween, or me dressing up as a psychologist, because that's just me all the time. But
well, you're pretending to be a psychiatrist already throughout the year. But I wish that you would not dress as yourself for Halloween, because Halloween's the one day of the year where we get a break from your face. We get a mask on you. We get some sort of costume covering you up. So keep doing that.
Sure. Spider coming in for adult humans at number 56.
What number for pets?
Well, why don't you give us a guess?
5.
Impress us with your list guessing skill.
5.
That's where it is.
Did I impress you?
Spider coming in at number 5. Number 5. It's most popular as a costume for humans in Montana. And if you look at the trajectory chart over the years for Spider, it's interesting. It bounces up and down. So it's real popular one year, not popular the next, and goes back and forth.
Wonder why. What's your theory on that?
I don't know.
Try to make sense of it, bub.
I do think it's funny how spiders and black crows and black kitties, they're just a normal animal 11 months out of the year. But suddenly, on October 1st, they become Halloween paraphernalia.
Did you say a spider is a normal animal 11 months out of the year?
Yes.
That's the dumbest thing you've ever said. Spiders are feared and disgusting all 12 months of the year.
But they're not associated with like being scary. Spooky.
Of course they are. Go put a spider in your wife's hand right now and see how she reacts. She won't think it's scary?
Okay. All right.
Now, like black cats, I'll give you that. Something like that. But spiders are a year-round menace.
You give me a lot to think about on today's episode.
Do you remember we did an episode on the deadliest spiders? Top 10 deadliest spiders.
Sure. But a snake is a scary animal, and it's not part of Halloween.
No. But spiders are, well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, yeah, I don't know.
How much money do you think the average person spends on their Halloween costume each year?
Per costume?
Yeah, this is per person.
$30.
More.
40.
More.
3,000.
$74 is what the average person spends on their Halloween costume annually.
That's too much.
I think I spend less than that.
Buster, this isn't an episode all about your banking and financing habits. So, as interesting as it is to find out the exact cost of your specific Halloween costume, I feel like we should move on.
Episode. Next episode will be Buster's top 10 reflections on his finances.
Okay. That's the final episode of Tennis Podcast because we'll have no listeners back after that. So there's one more animal, right?
Yeah, one more animal and one humanoid.
Is the animal small like spider as well?
Yes. A little bit bigger than a spider.
Trying to think of like the classic Halloween animals. You got a black cat, you got a bat, a spider.
People are very into rehabilitating the number of this animal throughout America right now.
You said it's bigger than a spider, right?
Yeah, but not by much, depending on the type of spider. Smaller than a tarantula, but bigger than a granddaddy longlegs.
God, what the fuck is this? Is it an insect of some kind?
It is an insect,
Grasshopper?
not a grasshopper. A bear is not on the list, but
A bee?
it is after something that a bumblebee produces.
I was
which
going to
is
say
honey.
bee, and then I thought, well, that's not bigger than a spider, but I guess it depends on the spider.
Depends on the big old size of that bumblebee.
I've definitely seen dogs and cats in bumblebee costumes. Not that the dog or cat was happy about it, but I've seen it. How about number 4 for bumblebee?
Number 4 is correct. But you had a 50% chance of getting that one right because you've only got 4 and 10 left, so I'm not going
Hey,
to
don't
pat
act like
you
I
on the
haven't done
back.
pretty damn good today.
According to Wikipedia, Bumble is an online dating and network application launched in 2014.
Oh my God.
Profiles of potential matches are displayed to users who can swipe left to reject or swipe right to indicate interest. Until 2024, only female users could make the first contact with matched male users, while in homosexual matches, either person can send a message first. Nick, how many people have you swiped right on Bumble this month? Don't worry, we won't tell your wife.
0. Because I don't have a chance to swipe because they're all swiping me first.
Coming
By the
back
way,
to Bumblebee, I
hey
guess
Siri,
I must have mixed up
remind
my
me
notes.
never to let Dr. Buster bring the list again.
I added let Dr. Buster bring the list again to the list.
I must have mixed up my notes here because some of my facts from Wikipedia are very confusing to me
Yeah.
for these lists. For the list. All right, Bumblebee, number 186 for humans. Wow, that really fell.
Adults, again, I'll bet for little babies and stuff, this is higher. Maybe not top 10, but higher than 186.
Yeah, probably. Most popular as a costume among adult humans in Alaska. Why do you think that is?
Because Alaska don't have bumblebees and they're jelly.
Right.
They might have
it's
bumblebees, actually. I don't
It's
know.
like us dressing up as a unicorn or just something that we don't get to experience. They're like,
Oh, unicorn would have been a good guess.
well, there's your hint. Well, I mean, it's not a humanoid, but now, unfortunately, Bumblebee's been falling drastically in the costume rankings for adults since 2007, but it's going strong for animals. Bumblebee up at number 4. That's a cute one.
It is cute, yeah. And I was just trying to think, like, what is it about bumblebees that people love? Like, you know what I mean? Look, think of all the animals that aren't on this list: bears and birds and tigers and dolphins and sharks. But a bumblebee makes the list. You know, I think it's the wings. I think winged animal because it's, I don't know, because it
And
hangs off
the
the
little
pet.
spiral antenna.
Mm-hmm.
They got a little stinger they can have on their booty.
Speaking of booties, how about number 10 is pirate?
Pirate, good guess.
You see booty? You see how I tied that in? Okay, so not a pirate.
Oh.
A witch.
A witch is number 10, last on the list here.
I knew it. I guess, what is that, just a witch hat?
Probably like little curled up black shoes, multicolored striped socks.
I haven't seen that on a dog or cat. Have you?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what would be in a witch costume for a little animal.
Cosmo is just fucking teasing me.
Witch is high in humans as well. It's number 4. I remember it being consistently high when you all would do lists in the past for Google data. It's very popular in West Virginia, and it is a steady as a very popular costume, and it's on an upward incline since 2020.
Unless you want to count ghost, maybe. But it is the only human-esque thing in the top 10.
Witch is a pejorative slang that Nick uses for his wife. Oh, sorry. No, it's a
What?
pejorative slang for a person, often meaning someone who's belligerent. Oh, wait. No, that's bitch. Sorry. Whoops.
Oh my God. I did not
Got
know you were
him.
going there. Yeah, you got him.
In what year do you think was the first commercially produced Halloween costume made and sold? When was the first time a company got on this costume train?
Not a witch costume, just any costume, right?
Any costume.
I believe you said earlier the 1920s is when costumes started in America. I'll say 1930 something.
This is earlier than I would think. 1895.
Wow. Does it say what it was?
What do you think was the first commercially produced costume in 1895?
A train conductor. Not a bad guess, right?
That isn't a bad guess. I think I may have dressed up as a train conductor as a kid. come to think of it.
It's because you're a fucking nerd. What was it?
It's a witch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why I put it underneath. Yeah, got it.
Gotcha.
That's
Got
why
him.
I put it right here with witch.
I wonder when the first, because like all, actual witches throughout history don't wear the getup that we all think of as a witch on Halloween. Like the big warty nose and the hat and the broom and the shoes and the socks you were saying. I wonder
They
when
just
that
look like my ex-wife.
started. Whoa. Okay. That's mine. That's my joke. You don't do that. You stop that.
Yeah, how did that start, right? Because, in the witch burning trials and such, I doubt they dressed up like anything
They
special.
did for sure did not dress like that because they weren't witches. In fact, they were just
Well,
innocent
sure, but
women that were targeted.
It's not like they wore black dresses and black hats. Yeah, I wonder how the cartoon characterization of a witch, I wonder how that evolved.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, I have to go here in like 3 minutes. So let's do a wrap up of the list.
So let's recap the top 10 most popular pet Halloween costumes in 2023, according to the National Retail Federation. So these were verified purchases, folks, for little kitties and puppies. Number 10, witch. 9, ghost. 8, lion. 7, cat. 6, devil. Not Satan. 5, spider. 4, bumblebee. 3, bat. 2, hot dog. And number 1, pumpkin
Hot dog,
spice.
hot dog, hot diggity dog. I'm surprised when you read number 3, bat, your body didn't just react by like falling asleep instantly because it's been so conditioned.
I'm getting sleepy just thinking about it. It's time to start hanging myself upside down and go to bed.
Oh, you didn't tell me that detail. You hang upside down too?
Well, Nick, we don't need to discuss every facet of my personal life here for the public to consume. Some things I got to keep in my bedroom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Buster. Well,
Mrs. Buster.
To the listeners, I would legitimately love to see pictures of your pets, not you, of your pets in Halloween costumes. Please share them with me. I'm going to share my pets in Halloween costumes. Buster's going to share them with me, and I'll share those with you too for his cats. You can see those on the Tennis Pod socials. There's links to each of those in the show notes. I'll also post them in our Tennis Pod Plus Discord channel and on Patreon. And if you share them with me, I'll share them with everyone else too. So please send them to me. Buster, happy fucking Halloween to your cats.
Happy Halloween.
Not to you.
To your kids and to everyone out there who plans on having a fun and safe Halloween.
And just so you know, if you're not participating in Halloween, even if it means, drudging up old feelings of your child being murdered on Halloween or something like that, and you chose not to participate by handing out candy this year, Dr. Buster thinks less of you.
If you want to dress up as something for Halloween in a version that your parents wouldn't approve because it's too revealing, I say go for it.
I will be neutral on that topic.
Well, we all know that you wear a slutty version of whatever it is each year.
I'm wearing a slutty version of an outfit right now. But
boy, don't I know it.
I think we probably should end there before we get in trouble here. So thank you to everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Send me your pet pics. He's Dr. Buster. I'm Nick Emel. I'll be back next week with a list for Dr. Shiloh on episode 281.
Ooh. Bye.